Hi, it's Elise here at Bowman Library with a whole new middle grade book spotlight. So it is the month of May, and if you haven't been aware yet, the month of May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So we're going to take a look today at 6 books that are authored by Asian American and Pacific Islanders, and they're going to be incredible because some of these authors, I shouldn't say some, all of them, are so incredibly talented, and they bring such a perspective that needs to be read. So let's get started. Our first one is The Grand Plan to Fix Everything. So best friends Deanie and Maddie love everything about India, even though they're living in Maryland, and they especially love Bollywood movies, which are movies that are made in India. And when Deanie's mother makes this announcement that Deanie's family is going to be moving to go and live in India for 2 years, the girls are stunned. They're both excited for Deanie, but also that means Deanie's going to have to leave her best friend Maddie behind. The only thing that makes it happy, though, is that they are going to be in India, and there's the possibility that Deanie might actually be able to meet their most favorite Bollywood actress, Dolly Singh. But when Deanie arrives in India, she is shocked to find that she and her family are going to be living in a village that is so tiny, it's not even on the map, and there's no way she is going to be able to meet this actress she wants to meet. Or will she be able to? So this is written as a movie script, and you will be along for every step of the journey. And there's going to be things that are expected along with unexpected, and you will be every step of the way with this zany adventure cheering for Deanie. This is the grand plan to fix everything. See You in the Cosmo. So 11-year-old Alex is obsessed with space and astronomy, even to the point where he names his dog Carl Sagan after the famous astronomer. When he decides he wants to travel from his home in Colorado to New Mexico for a rocket festival, he sets off on this journey with just his dog, as his father is dead and his brother's living in California, and his mom has these days that are called quiet days, and she basically is kind of absent, and she lets Alex do whatever he wants. So as he's traveling by train, he gets this alert from Ancestry.com, and it has a man's name, and it has a birth date and where he lives, and Alex starts to wonder, what is this about? And he soon realizes that maybe his dad, who he thought was dead, isn't really dead. That this person who just was sent to him could actually be his dad. So instead of going to the rocket festival, he decides he's going to go to Las Vegas, where this person lives, and he's going to figure out what is actually going on. Naturally, though, things go off the rails very quickly, and Alex will end up learning more about himself than he ever thought possible. You will go along with him on this journey of self-discovery that will have you feeling every single emotion you possibly could feel at some point throughout this book. This is See You in the Cosmos. Prairie Lotus. So after her mother passes away, 14-year-old Hannah and her father, they want a fresh start, so they decide to move out to the Dakota Territory. When they decide to settle in Lafarge, it is not going to be easy because they're going to face a barrage of racism because Hannah is half Chinese. Her mother was Chinese and her father was white, and it is the year 1880, and that just does not happen. Hannah is hoping that maybe here she'll finally be able to go to school and she can make friends, but as soon as she goes to school, parents in the town just pull their kids out of school because they don't want her to be even near them. Her father opens a store that's filled with goods for people to buy. The store gets boycotted because Hannah is his daughter, and she's even to the point where she gets physically hurt when she's out running errands one day for her dad. Hannah decides, though, that she's not going to let that stop her or her father, and it's going to be up to her to change the mindset of this town they have chosen to live in. If you like the Little House on the Prairie series or any book with a strong-willed character, then this is a great choice, Prairie Lotus. The Night Diary. So for her 12th birthday, Nisha is given a diary for her gift, and she starts to write things down that are happening in her daily life, which is not as simple as it once was. She's living in India, it's 1947, and she starts to witness India's independence from the British. And everyone at first is really excited about this, but then a line is drawn and there's complete upheaval in the country and people because it's been divided along religious lines. Either you're Hindu or you're Muslim, and the Muslims and the Hindus are not getting along. This has even more impacted her family than others too, because her dad is Hindu and her deceased mother is Muslim, making her half Hindu, half Muslim. And as violence starts to increase against Hindus, her family finds themselves having to flee for their lives to neighboring Pakistan in this terrifying and suspenseful journey that she keeps track of in this diary. So this is told in diary format. This historical fiction is all about a girl trying to figure out who she really is as outside forces try to define it for her. This is the Night Diary. I'm Auk by Patty Kim. So when his father unexpectedly dies in an accident, Auk and his mother just try to survive. His mother works 3 jobs, but trying to not able to make ends meet. So Auk decides he wants to help out by raising some money on his own. And his first couple of business attempts kind of don't go too well. But then he comes up with this idea of braiding people's hair, and it actually kind of takes off. But Auk is constantly bullied at school for his Korean heritage, his name, his looks, the food he eats, and then when someone at the Korean American church starts to date his mom, Auk does not think he is needed anymore, and he decides he's gonna run away. And as he starts to, contemplate his plan, he kind of begins to make some not good choices. But as he goes down this road in which he's kind of questioning everything, he starts to realize that he actually isn't alone in life like he thinks he is. If you like a book that takes a look at changing families and the importance of friends, look no further. I'm Auk. And our last one is The Great Wall of Lucy Wu. So Lucy is so excited for the start of 6th grade because not only does that mean she's now going to middle school, that means her older sister is finally going away to college, and that means she gets the bedroom all to herself. But that quickly goes away when her father arrives home one day from a business trip to China, and he is not by himself. He has brought the great aunt, so his dad's aunt, Lucy's great aunt, all the way from China, and she's going to be staying with them from the start of the school year through Christmas. And that means she's going to have to share Lucy's room. Lucy is so frustrated about the whole situation, not even just the room, but her great aunt doesn't speak English, and she doesn't cook American food, and now instead of being able to go to basketball practice on Sunday mornings, she's being sent to Chinese school, and she's just frustrated at life. But as her great aunt spends more time with them and starts to share a little bit more about who she is, Lucy comes to learn so much about this woman and her story, which contains such incredible courage and the drive to survive. Lucy soon finds herself needing some of the lessons that her great aunt has been telling her because she's going to need to figure out how to survive. This amazing realistic novel is one that's filled with humor, friendship, family, and situations that we've all been in or will be in the future. This is The Great Wall of Lucy Wu. So these are just 6 of the books that we have here at Bowman that are written by Asian American authors or Island Pacific authors. So feel free to come on out, check out one of these, or we have others here that we are more than happy to find for you so you can walk away with that perfect book you want to read. I hope you have a great week, and I hope you tune back next week when we have a whole new middle grade book spotlight.